am Birajini Samantaray from Aeronautics Aviation Academy. So that my continued lesson writes, I am going to teach you the civil rights, the third point, third right of a civil rights, that is called as right to freedom of expression. So, my dear students, one more special note to be seen that sometimes the right to freedom of expression sometimes the civil rights are suspended due to some unavoidable circumstances. Example, in 1975, all the civil rights of Indian citizen were suspended due to national emergency in the period of Mrs. Indira Gandhi. So, if you will see, sometimes civil rights are suspended due to some unavoidable circumstances. In India, in 1975, during the period of national emergency led by the then Prime Minister Mrs. Indira Gandhi, the civil rights, all of the civil rights and fundamental rights of Indian citizens were seized. So, sometimes these restrictions are happened. Today my point of view is right to freedom of expression. What is the meaning of right to freedom of expression? First we have to learn. So, these rights, right to freedom of expression, is giving scope to the individuals in the state to express their opinion freely, without any fear, and their opinions mutually. What are they? This right into people to express their opinions mutually without any fear. So, this is the first and foremost, one of the first and foremost rights of the citizen in the state. So, within this particular right, freedom of expression, more two rights are included. They are freedom of speech and freedom of press. Freedom of speech and freedom of press are included in this right to freedom of expression. So, this right, freedom of expression, is taken more two rights, that is freedom of speech and freedom of press. So, we will see that freedom of opinion and the individuals within the state think freely and his and their opinions should be reached to the other people within society and outside of the society, which are reasonable manner. That means reasonable thought of expression. So, if we will see previous political thinkers, Rousseau, Voltaire, Montesquieu, Harold J. Lasky, T.H. Green, they have given, even you will see Aristotle, how much political thinkers or scientists, they are giving their opinion. Even you will see Galileo, they are giving their opinions freely. Because which points they want to prove, they are giving that. So people were mad in their name to listen their thoughts, their expressions. So here, how much freedom of expression is required? Freedom of press is also required. Freedom of press is called as mirror of grievances, mirror of the society, mirror of the country, mirror of the whole world. So freedom of press is highly necessary. Freedom of press is highly to influence the situations of the state and government and the people. So, if the matter or matters are reasonable, are positive in a manner, and which are good for the society, welfare of the society, that should be expressed. And freedom of a press doing the work of a mirror. Freedom of press or medias are it's acted as mirror of the society, state, and the whole world. So, what is or what are going on within the particular area, particular society, particular state, particular country, particular continent, or whole continents, or whole world. And they are reflecting the situations which are existed and arising, and they are filling the grievances of people and filling the grievances of the people within the state so the press, freedom of press, reflecting the reality of the situations, reflecting by reflecting real situations of the state or whole world. Word. Impartially. Now, I want to explain you what is the meaning of impartiality. That means in the eyes of press, all are equal. Either governing body or government or state or the people. There is no discrimination among anything in the eyes of press, medias, because they are publishing mostly not fake news. Mostly they are whatever the reality happened in the society, in the state, in the whole world, they are giving. So, freedom of expression related with freedom of speech and freedom of press is the highly essence of democracy. It is the essence of democracy. So, they are the mirrors. The freedom of press is the mirror to express the things freely without any fear. But we have to learn some restrictions are there. That means freedom of speech means whatever we can talk, that does not mean. Some restrictions are there. What are positive points people should take? People should criticize, comment. They have the rights. That means obscene words they must not use. And they must not hamper any prestige of any person. So, impartially they should talk and decently they should talk. They should express their thought. They should not impose anything upon others. Freedom of press also doing such things. So we will see from the historical background, from international field and our national field. So, international field, I am going to history. In French Revolution, in 1930 and 1948, French revolutions. Suspended the freedom of press. So, here, what was happened when Charles X and Louis Philippe, the then rulers of France, had taken arbitrary role. Media, the press, the newspaper, the radios broadcasted first the real situation of their rule, and it was reflected within the whole world. At that time, the press was seized. The freedom of press was seized by Louis Philippe and Charles Ten. By Charles Ten and Louis Philippe respectively. Next, recent matter. I am going to Afghanistan. Just Afghanistan was overruled by Talibanis, and their human rights and freedom press were seized. Recent examples: Taliban forcefully captured Afghanistan and suspended human rights, right to speech, expression, and the freedom of press. So, these are happening when media are going, they are capturing the bare truths of government, state, and people. At that time, those who are absolute government or usurper government, they get or they keep restrictions on press. Just presses like soldiers, they are bringing the reality and safeguarding the security of country, nation, and people. So when restrictions are imposed on press, at that time nothing is there. Means the state and the government, they are free to govern their absolutism. So freedom of press and expression is highly required. So we will see some restrictions are given upon that. I will write about that. Now explaining. To express the one's opinion or views through any media, posters, films, and movies, etc. So, if we will see some restrictions are there. Restrictions are likewise restrictions. On the ground of, on the following grounds. One is security of the state. Next, friendly relations with foreign states. So, here the freedom of expression most of the times restricted due to the security of the state. So, then we will see it is restricted. Friendly relations with the neighboring countries or any other foreign countries. Next, it is kept, restrictions are kept due to public order. Fourth is decency, to maintain decency, public order. So, the government and the people, they are correlated to each other to make one balance, to make the relationship free and fair. So, public order is there and the government giving issues the orders for which the freedom of speech, freedom of expression and freedom of press are limited, are controlled. So, next, decency and a morality. We should express our views. We should express our opinion, not to hamper others unnecessarily. That means our freedom of speech and expression and freedom of press should be reasonable to the point what is in reality, not any fake thing to which will be the prestige issue of anybody. Contempt of court. It is contempt of court means the court, the judiciary is giving certain limitation, one demarcating land. Within that limitation, you have to proceed your speech, proceed your expression without that limitation. Nothing should be done. So, if we will see any offense is going on, to unnecessary, to avoid 6 point, to avoid unnecessary offense. So, nobody has right to offend anybody unnecessarily. Necessarily you criticize, but out of limitation, not to be, it is not allowed. So, next, point number 7, to keep sovereignty and integrity of the nation. So, this right to freedom of expression, right to freedom of speech, and the right to freedom of press, these rights should be given limitations up to which to maintain dignity for the sovereignty of the nation and the integrity, to maintain integrity of the nation. So, if you will see this freedom of expression in India, what are given in India? In a glance of India, in the glance of glance means view. So, we will see right to freedom of expression is used in India in which manner? So, this right included with freedom of speech, and expression in the fundamental rights in the fundamental rights 1901A. So, this right to freedom of expression, speech and expression and freedom of press is given to the people of India under the section of Indian Constitution of the Indian Constitution. So, in India, the Indian Constitution provides this freedom of speech and expression and freedom of press. In the Article 19(1)(a) as fundamental rights of individuals in India. So we will see that in 1973, it was historical thing was happened in 1973. So, Sakal Papers Limited, Sakal Paper Limited versus the Union of India. The leading case was happened in 1973. Sakal Paper Limited versus Union of India imposed restriction on right of freedom of expression and freedom of speech and freedom of press. Next, we will see freedom of press, freedom of speech and freedom of expression is also given one important taken in 1985. Indian Express versus Union of again another controversial case was happened, and one side freedom of press, that was Indian Express. One side was Indian Express, another side was the Union of India. It was freedom of press was suspended, was saved due to the security of India. Same thing, Sakal Paper versus Union of India, security of India was mostly needed, for which restriction was given, and these matters were gone to Supreme Court. So next recent matter we will see. Sakal Papers versus Indian Express versus Union of India. Third example, 2020 Bollywood film industries moved a case or filed a case against a Republic Bharat news channel the chief editor Mr. Arnab Goswami and Navika Kumar in the Delhi High Court. So, recent case in 2020, Hollywood film industries, producers, filmmakers, artists, cinema heroes, Hindi film heroes, heroines, critics, writers, they had moved one case against the chief editor of a Republic Bharat news channel of a TV, Mr. Arnab Goswami and Navika Kumar in the Delhi High Court. They moved and they told that the case was there, especially Republic Bharat and its associated news channels giving the very austere language to Bollywood as a doggies. So, here in Delhi High Court, it was given. So, here Arnab Goswami had argued that those who are taking vets, they are told as veggies. Those who are taking drugs, they are called as druggies. So, in that time, Sushant Singh Rajput murder case was Sushant Singh Rajput mysterious death was continued, and in this period Arnab Goswami's channel and his associated channel reporting the field work, the ground level work, what other channels were defended on. So, when Sushant Singh Rajput's murder case was related to Bollywood, Hindi film industry of Mumbai, and so many drugs rackets were seized. They were arrested and they are interrogated, even Deepika Padukone and so on, so on. So, in that time, the field, the ground reporting, the Republic Bharat had done, and for which Republic Bharat and Mr. Arnab Goswami was dragged to Delhi High Court. There, one very precarious situation was happened. Court was given. If you don't want to see the channel, don't see. So many news channels are giving in a different way. Who is giving through the Adalat, just like Rajat Sharma for India TV news channel, G News channel by showing the animals and different way. That was the media. These medias having their own ideologies to express their views, and they will report. So, at that time, this matter was also gone to Supreme Court. Supreme Court's same situation was there, and it was given. If you don't want to see the channel, don't see. That does not mean that the media, that channel will be stopped. Yes, some obscene situations, some channels were blocked. But here, Republic Bharat channel was not blocked, not seized. Because so many grounds were related with this. So, my dear students, today's freedom of speech, expression and thought, as well as freedom of press, I have given you in the field of international or world and in my country, India. So, next freedom of civil rights we will discuss in our next period, in the next video. My dear students, this is time to tell you, to express your views regarding my teaching through your comments.